Hi guys, welcome to another quick spaceship demo. Um, so I'm going to start off with a standard 8.5 by 11 letter format. That's going to give me plenty of real estate to do my design work. And I'm going to show you guys a quick idea generating um, spaceship demo. And this is kind of a derivative of some stuff that I learned from Scott Robertson. And Scott Robertson, by the way, he has tons of really amazing demos about this stuff. So anyways, one of the things I'm going to start off with is setting up my brush for doing some organic strokes that I can use as something abstract for my spaceship. I'm going to turn on transfer and shape dynamics. It's going to give me that nice thick and thin feel. And I'm going to come over here. These are kind of like the settings for that. I have a new layer. And so what I'm going to start off with is just doing some abstract line work. And for the most part, I'm going to throw out a bunch of ideas. I can almost do this stuff with my eyes closed. The idea is just to get some stuff out there and then go back and see which one might have the best potential for like a sleek one-person spaceship in this case. So for the most part, I'm doing a lot of horizontal elements. And I think that'll do it. And then I'm going to pick my top three. And I like to kind of go in here and make a red brush and kind of go over the stuff. All right, that one doesn't look bad. This one has potential. That's got some good stuff. That's interesting. Boy, that one's good too. Really nice and clean there. This one could also work. That one also, it's got some unique stuff on there. But the thing is, I have to really make a decision. I have to just pick one because that's part of the design process, especially when you talk about industrial design. So out of those, I'm going to kind of check them out one more time, see which one I feel might have the best potential. That kind of has like a muscle car feel. That one has a nice canopy on it. That one's nice and sleek. I kind of like this one. It kind of has some dramatic proportions. And I like how it's got the darker front and it's got that more vertical looking tail. So I'm going to copy this guy. I'm going to take all these, merge them together, shrink them, put it on the side just to kind of show where it came from. And now I'm going to focus on this guy and how I can turn this into a spaceship. And by the way, the full version of this is probably available with Scott Robertson. Let's see, I'm going to play around with proportions, make sure it's nice and dynamic. I don't want it to look too static. I don't want the front to resemble the rear too much. I think something like that would work. It feels like it can go fast enough. I'm going to lower the opacity on this and kind of go in there with a fine pencil tip and pick out some of the cooler elements that I like about it. So kind of have this hood element that shoots over here, and it's got this big, massive opening to cool down the big engine, thruster jet, or what have you that it has. Just catch the silhouette a little bit. Some detail on the tail. I think I can simplify that a bit. And it kind of feels like the rear is grabbing onto the front. Make sure I have some snappy line work there. Clean up the tip. And the canopy is going to be here. Put like a standard looking cockpit. Cockpit is also a great way to give the vehicle a sense of scale. And let's see, for this scoop, I think I'll just have like a black hole there and maybe some vents that shoot forward. That'll be one, 2, and 3. And I'm going to put some section lines so I have a better idea of what I'm working with. And over here, I want that to be thick, but back here, that's thin, kind of like a wing. Let's see, I can maybe connect that all the way to the back. I'm going to watch my line work. I don't want to have lazy curves. I'm going to have snappy curves that kind of relate with each other. So see, we've got the jet, and then maybe there's some outlets here that shoot thrust onto the wings. Maybe that shoots straight back, kind of relating with that curve and the curve on the front scoop openings. I'm careful to have this line working with that line down there. And that shoots out. And I'll put some more section lines so I have a better idea of what I'm working with. And I'll exaggerate these because even though I'm looking at a side view, I still want this to feel like it's got a little bit of dimension to it. Let's go in there, clean the design up a little bit more. Of course, I should put some wings, and I'm thinking, let's see, there's different ways I can put the wings on here. For the sake of functionality and good proportions, I want to maybe make a new layer and explore a little bit. A lot of times when I'm in doubt a little bit about what to do next, I will explore. So that's one version. Let's see, I can have a version coming off of the scoop maybe. And I don't know about that because that kind of covers up that nice exit vent. But I'll just leave that there, and then I'll do a third version. Maybe this one just shoots out and dips back in. And then on the other side. So I like to try at least 3 different variations, and then sometimes I'll move them around. I mean, I could move that up to the front. That doesn't look bad. If I move it to the rear, I don't know. It doesn't have that much strength. And right here, I think it's too much in the middle. So I want to play around with the proportions. I think something like that might work, but I'm going to check out my other options. That one and this one. You know what? I think I'm going to go with this. So I'm going to just go in there, quickly block it in so I have a better idea of what I'm working with. One way I can do that is just catch a light value and hit that. Make sure I'm on the top layer. And then maybe that blends in to one of those streaks for the vent. Let's see, maybe something like that. Design-wise, I think I'm pretty much there with that. So now I'm going to just follow up with some values just to kind of reinforce what the design is. And for the values, I'll just stick with the black. And as far as the brushes go, I'm going to take shape dynamics off. So the only things I have on are transfer and smoothing. And I'm going to use a big brush, kind of do like a gradient towards the bottom. And then I'm going to erase around the boundary of this vehicle, starting off with a big brush and then decreasing the size to get a little bit more detail areas of the silhouette. For the most part, when I do this, I'm just trying to catch the silhouette volume of the design. This first pass, I'm not going to care too much about gradations and showing the form. Just blocking it in. And then what I like to do is duplicate that layer and catch the darker areas. So I guess you could say the graphic areas. And so for this guy, it's going to go around that scoop. There we go. Now, one thing I don't like is the way that disconnects to the front. I could extend that, but I think I'll just let it go for now. Duplicate that so it's a little bit darker, but I think this wing is getting too dark. Erase a little bit off of that. And another thing I want to catch is the glass area. So I'll go back to my value layer, duplicate that, and just graphically try to isolate where the glass is. There we go. And I think now I'll jump into some very simple VisCom. VisCom can be a tricky thing because it can just take forever. And I think maybe I'll start off with the wing. You want to be careful of the direction that you apply your values. So I'll start off with a white brush. I want to kind of catch a wing foil section just to kind of show you what I mean by that. Let's see, so I've applied that value, and what I'm going to do now is go in there and put a section line defining that wing section. It's a typical airfoil. You can think about it like a stretched out teardrop. And then maybe put some section lines here, kind of showing the relationship between that black area and the wing as it comes out. I think that works. I'm going to go back on that value. It's really important what areas you get rid of and keep. So I'm going to get rid of what's supposed to be more of a vertical area onto the body. Maybe I can go in here with a white brush, get like a nice highlight. Nice highlight there. Again, I'm going to fade that out. And I think I'm going to do a reverse highlight where it intersects with the body. You can use different kinds of brushes, but I'm just sticking to this for simplicity's sake. This is kind of like a reflective black paint here. Go in there, erase around it a bit. Okay, now I'm going to go a little bit deeper with some VisCom. And what I like to do is just isolate areas. Okay, so in this case, we have this air channel on the bottom. I'm going to start off with a black value that kind of opens up as it goes towards the rear. And maybe put a little cast shadow in there. Like that. And I like to overbuild and then cut away. So I'm going to cut away around the boundary of that scoop that I had drawn in. There we go. Nice snappy feel. Cut it from there. Maybe I will go into the body. And for the body, I can go back to that original value layer and I can duplicate that and kind of erase off the top. So I'll erase this area. Just kind of give that feeling that there's a nice crown onto the body. And sometimes I can do a reverse highlight, cut away a little bit off the bottom. Let's see. And I think I can slowly wrap it up. Maybe defining this scoop here a bit more. So we have like a kind of a cast shadow, and then it goes down there. Make a big brush, erase all this extra junk. Erase around the boundary a little bit. I want to have these lines matching up. Maybe go in there. Make sure that's as black as it can be. A little bit of gradient as it comes out. I think I'll put a little gradient or a little darker value on the bottom of these streaks. I think put in the wing section, cast shadow. There we go. And I have a little streak here that also leads to that opening. Maybe hit it with a little bit of highlight. And while I'm at it with that highlight, I can grab the wing. Little white here. And the front of the wing. A little bit on the parting line. A bit on the wingtip. You clean up the wing just a bit. And one thing with Viscom is you want to be careful because it can be easy to get carried away. What I try to do is just have enough information where the concept communicates. In this case, I'm trying to have that nice thick and thin fanning effect. Okay, got to make sure I'm on the very top layer and go in here with some nice juicy highlights. I think in this case, I'm going to show this area, how the body kind of pops out, giving us that scoop. Again, you'll notice that I overbuild. And then go in and cut away with my eraser. And trying to brush a little bit bigger, get that fade out effect there. Maybe do a little Viscom trick, erase a little bit of that here. Let's see, maybe some highlights for this lower. I'm careful the direction that I apply the strokes. So let's see, I'll have a little gradient going that direction. And then again, I'm going to erase away. Trying to have that continuous feel on the lower. Still put some snap in there. I'm going to cut that off to where the cast shadow would be. I think that'll work. Even though I don't like how it's a little dark on the bottom part there. I think that'll work. Okay. Since I am short on time, I'm going to go into cleanup mode. Now there's a lot of stuff I can add onto this. I can put in a bunch of greeble. I can put more viscom time, but since I am short on time, and I don't want you guys to take too long on yours, I'm just going to cut this short. And I like to start off with just a new layer. Just go in there with a white brush on top of everything, just clean things up. Go. And you know what? I'm thinking go that same direction with the tail. I think something like that might work. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's fine. Thin up the bottom. I think the butt was getting a little on the wonky side. Pick a smaller brush. Some other stuff in here. And I'm going to go in with another layer. And this time just try to define particular design elements. I think one of the strong things with this is the graphic breakup from the body to the scoop. So I want to make it like there's this nice parting line. Just put a little highlight there. I'll highlight on the bottom one. Offset highlight there. I think I want to show a little bit more of that scoop with a bigger gradient. I forgot to do that earlier. Just a little bit, kind of show that it goes back in. So again, overbuild and erase away. And let's see, I should just wrap things up with, see this stuff, viscom, you can just get carried away. There's the pilot's head. Darken that up a bit. Show that that's a different material. Put the little parting line. Put a little wing there. A little wing here. A little circle here. And a circle here. Put a little compartment here. Section line. A little something something in the front. And let's see. Put my signature. Let's see, where should I put it? I think I'll put my signature right here. S M 15. Really low res. Honestly, if I had to redo this, once I get the design down, I like to scale everything up and go from there. But I think that kind of settles it. That's my design. I hope you like this demo, and hopefully it can help you out just a bit. And I hope to do more of them later. So thank you for watching.